Alright, hi everyone. This is gonna be the SCSwarm casting team for the VSL Voltaic Star League. We are gonna be doing a TriCast for this week, and for most of the upcoming week we're gonna be looking up how it's gonna be panning out. But this is going to be the first game of the stage number 4, and we're gonna be jumping right in with my first co-caster and our first player in the top life. Can you introduce our player?
Player in the top left is Havoc from Ballad G. His favorite ice cream flavor is chocolate.
And who are you introducing this player?
Oh, my name's Germi. Play obviously Zerg for SC2Swarm.
Pleasure having you in the cast. And on the bottom right, who's gonna be my second caster and my second player?
On the bottom right is Formless Best of Trumpet, and I am his favorite ice cream flavor is pistachio, and I am SCSwarm Phoenix, who also plays Zerg versus.
Perfect. All right. So we're gonna be having a all Zerg cast in a Zerg versus Protoss game. So we're gonna be looking how this game shapes up for now. Right now, I don't think we're gonna be having anything specific going on. Just standard openers for both sides. So we're gonna have a bit of talk about what's going on with these players. I mean, we've been having a lot of small talk with these players so far. I mean, did you guys have anything particular that would be worth mentioning about these players? How they play or something?
Havoc was saying before the week started that ZVP was his favorite matchup. However, he is only a diamond player, whilst Trumpet is a masters player, so maybe that will level itself out.
I mean, this is something that's been going on with these the stages and groups so far. We have players of similar ratings, but there's still some discrepancies sometimes. Players gonna be a bit higher, players gonna be a bit lower than the others. But yeah, it's always fun to see players showing their favorite matchups, thinking they're beginning confident going into these. So I'm really curious to see how Havoc does with the underdog tag right now, with the MMR difference. As of so far though, nothing special going for these players. Gate expand core for the pros player, Hatchery gas pool for the Zerg player. I don't think we can get any more standard in this right now.
Everything right now is just super standard. Everyone's playing super safe. I was hoping for some cheese.
It would have been fun seeing some cheese. I mean, it's even like with a probe scout, early probe scout, just patrolling in front, making sure there's no link flood or anything, going for the stalker first out of the gateway. Maybe to try and deny some scouting info from the Overlord over there. Maybe to make sure nothing fancy comes up to block the lanes on the wall. Pretty much a defensive opener compared to the adept that we would normally see try and poke up with. Yeah, I mean, pretty standard so far.
Let's push away that patrolling probe though, so no more information for him for now.
Yeah, the probe's gonna be poking up a bit further while the third base is being established for our Zerg player. Oh, and we're gonna see a bit of a differentiation normally from what's the considered the standard opener from Protoss. We're gonna see Robo first instead of the Stargate first, with the Stalker already in place to deny the scouting information from the Overlord. Might be some early Warp Prism play, maybe some Immortal push with sentries, because we're already seeing a sentry being warped. We already have a sentry out and a sentry on the way with the Stalker.
It may be worth noting that that wall technically isn't finished yet. So if he decides to, Havoc could probably go for some sort of link flood and do some damage.
Sure. With the second gateway on the way, it shouldn't be too bad right now, especially with these sentries out. Sentries with already having the energy for force fields might be able to...
He finished the wall.
Yeah. And
he's good.
The Overlord on the other side, not getting any information right now. Trying to poke up, seeing the Stalker just changes his mind and goes back. While we see a Forge and a Robo first into Forge seems like a... I mean, this is an Immortal first, as we were thinking about. So this might be some sort of timing with Sentries and Immortals. Immortal Sentry with +1 timing, maybe? Because we don't even see any Stargate, we don't see any Twilights. Just see more gates being added on. And, what is this we're gonna see from the Zerg side on the map right now?
Now he hasn't gone anything past links at the moment. He's getting the layer now,
and adding more
gases.
gases.
Finish very soon.
I mean, the layer finishing up right now, with the gases being already 2 gases being done, 3 gases being done, and mining,
yeah.
and the Hydralisk Den underway. Gonna be going for some really early Hydralisks with no Bailing Nests, I feel like. I didn't miss any Bailing Nests. So it's gonna be laying Hydra for now, which is
just
quite surprising.
Hydra, yeah. No drones on the third base, though.
But we're gonna see the lanes from Havoc already going into Trumpet's third base. They're trying to deny the third base. The 2 sentries and an Immortal trying to deny it. Getting a big surround in these sentries right now. Getting some damage done. The force field's not that great. 1 sentry going down already. That's a full energy sentry going down, which is quite an impairment for Trumpet's possible future push. These sentries, every force field he can get is pretty good right now. Especially with the amounts of links and Hydralisks we're going to be seeing from Havoc. With the +1 weapon almost finished. Chrono boosted out entirely since the beginning. And the Immortals productions keep on going. We have 2 Immortals already, we've got some sentries, we've got some Adepts with the number of links. But this Overlord is still seeing a lot of everything right now. Staying on top there, seeing the Immortals transfer.
It's got a lot of scouting info.
Twilight Council on research now, so we'll probably be seeing some high Templars.
Oh, seeing Blink? I'm curious about that choice. Right now, there's been a lot of every single other units from the Warp Gate except the Stalker, I would say. Not too sure about the Blink, but I mean, he probably knows what he's doing better than me. I mean, I don't even play Protoss anyway, so. We're gonna see, Hydralisk, nothing special. Go for it.
Sorry, the Blink's definitely an interesting choice. I figured he would have probably gone for, like, Charge, because you can easily get some Zealots in real quick. He's only got the 2 Stalkers right now.
True.
3, sorry. With 1 patrolling.
But I feel
Havoc's
like
going for a move out across the map right now.
This might be an actual timing attack with the Hydralisk speed just finishing up right now. Quite a big number of Hydralisks right now on the map, and the Zerglings are going to be reinforcing pretty soon, I suppose? Or is this only an Hydralisk attack? This is 20 Hydralisks right now. This is a quite scary number at this time in the game.
That's a lot.
Havoc's not all in, but he's pretty much needs to do damage right now. He's 10 workers behind, and he's going to start the push right now against the Adepts and the Sentry Immortal Stalker. There's 2 shield batteries doing a lot of work right now. The force shields are really doing a lot of work right now, splitting off the Hydralisk and almost picking up the Overseer too. He's going to need to get a flank or something. I'd like to see some Zerglings on the other side direct and get some damage done.
Yeah. A nice army split if he could would be really good.
Because right now he's just headbutting into force field, splitting off his Hydralisk and just losing 4 or 5 at a time and not getting any damage done. All he's doing right now is keeping the pressure up, but that's about it. His opponent, Trumpet, is just doing really good with the force field right now, and this Hydralisk timing does not seem like it's going to break his opponent or anything right now. No run-bys or anything on the way. Just trying to brute force his way through with the Hydralisk. The batteries are already out of energy. Sentries are falling apart right now. Blinks are starting. Blinks just finished. But the Immortals are just powering through. Blink forward. Gonna pick up the last remaining Hydralisk. Nope. Gonna leave. And gonna maybe have a wave 2 right now going on. Some of these Stalkers are gonna get picked up. Blink back. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure about this play from Havoc right now.
The Warp Prism coming in for Trumpet now, so it may start with some counter harass on the other side of the map.
That's true. Also, +2 weapon finishing for Protoss, while there's no upgrade in terms of attack or curapace for Zerg player. These upgrades are going to start piling up right now.
The Locaden does start for the Zerg player.
And 4 Dropper Lords are on their way. I'm maybe going to try and do some particular attacks right now with this. Gonna need to do something right now. With simple brute force, I don't think he's gonna do it. He's lost a lot of his army before. He's still behind on economy, 70 probes to 55 right now. Even if he's ahead on bases, if you don't have the workers to mine these bases, it's not gonna amount to anything. Just now starting the upgrades, +1/+1 melee and range attack for Zerg, while we're seeing +3 on the way for us. And even Chrono boosting it out.
Those upgrades are super late. He even has a 3rd evolution chamber. He could get all 3, but it's just not being used right now. It's not being utilized.
Sure.
Hive Tech just starting up for the Zerg player as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Havoc's game plan to counter this army from Trumpet is, and if he can do it before Trumpet actually pushes through. Because this is quite a scary army right now. 3 Immortals, a lot of Blink Stalkers, and 3 Sentries for support, with a Warp Prism for the reinforcements right now. And behind this, he's got still 12 Warp Gates right now, so he's got quite a lot of freedom to warp in as long as he has the resources. And with 76 probes, he's not gonna like the income for it. Really scary
He
army
also
right now.
starts Zealot legs, which doesn't make too much sense to me since he hasn't whooped any Zealots so far.
No, I'm really curious to see maybe he's going to try and plan the switch, maybe he knows he's going to have too much mineral. But right now we're going to see a big engage on the third base. The army are getting in really good position. Havoc needs either good lurkers or a good flank right now, because this is not going to pan out for him if he just brute force. Although is there an observer in here?
No,
The observer's not
but
there.
yes, there is with the army.
There's one nearby, he's not over top of the army.
Oh, it's just there. He's finally moving it up. You think he lost it for a time and then he's found it back. But the force fields are doing a really good job right now for Trumpet. Splitting off the army bits by bits and taking a good pick, but the lurkers are doing a lot of damage to these stalkers. He's gonna try to make sure he doesn't get picked off too far away with these lurkers. Already 6 lurkers.
Is at the third grade, so that's good.
Sniping the
There's
Wolf Prism is huge here for Havoc.
More presence with sniper.
There's
Oh,
also a counterattack going on the right side.
yeah. I mean, there's all
It's
kinds
getting
of.
cleaned up pretty easily, though.
Trumpet's trying to split up his army a bit, get some little picks here and there. But like you said, the warp presence. Oh boy, walking into these lurkers, losing a couple of stalkers for pretty much free right there. But as we said, he's been warping some zealots back in his third base. Maybe planning for a switch. Maybe he needs the gas for something else right now. With the Twilight Council on the way and a second robotics facility on the way, maybe planning to add more specified unit and tech unit instead of going for only stalkers. While his opponents go in for finally his tech choice is going to be Greater Spire and Lurker Barrel Speed.
Ground weapons free for the Protoss just finishing up, while +2/+2 only in research for the Zerg.
Yeah.
So Trumpet definitely has the upgrade advantage coming into the next fight.
There's going to be a big engage on Trumpet's third base right now. The Lurker is barrowing, in a not too bad position, but not a great position. Some of them are not even firing right now. Hydro is being picked off by the force fields. Not getting too much damage, only getting a cannon right now. Getting the second cannon with the shield batteries being depleted right now. Not too sure if he can force his way through this. The Lurkers are really denying a lot of space for him. And there's this... He was trying to run by with Zerglings by the natural, but a sentry and a shield battery preventing this. And a big round of Zealot Warpins. While the Zerg is going to be pushing for the fourth base right now. Going to be doing a lot of damage right there. The army is being split up by both players. Oh, the Lurker is getting picked off. Only 2 of them remaining. While the Zerg is trying to finally clearing up this fourth base for Protoss. Supply capping him too. He's going to need to drop some more pylons if he wants to warp in anything else. And the fights of these are just Zerglings getting cleared up.
That fourth base does go down though, which is huge, I think, for Havoc. It's going to give him a chance to stay in this game.
Because right now he needs to catch up on workers. I mean, he's got quite a big bank, but he's still stuck on only 57 workers and only 120 supplies. If there's an actual fight right now, I feel like Trumpet could just demolish it. In the, I don't know. I'm not too sure about what Havoc's game plan is right now, because he's trying to go for Broodlords off a 56 drone economy. Not too sure how that's gonna pan out, because if he loses them, he's not gonna be able to reproduce any of them. 5
His
Broodlords
plan
on the
really
way.
should be to kind of hold the Protoss back while he builds up his drone count a bit,
Mhm.
and then he can continue the remaxing of the army.
Exactly.
Just burn it.
Havoc going for literally only specialized tier 2 units. We're gonna be doing up to 8 Lurkers and 5 Broodlords. But the lack of detection, these Lurkers are doing a lot of damage, and these Broodlords are also starting. Curtis Storm, not the Great Storm. Trumpet having quite a big army right now. We've got a diverse army of Zealots, Stalkers, Immortal. Not that many Immortals, and a lot of Templars. Up to 10 Templars right now. Corruptors there, just being annoying.
Yeah.
But they're being distraction while the 5th is being attacked. I like these moves by Trumpet so far. Trying to divert his opponent's attention, just moving left and right, and forcing his army to move. With the barrel lurkers too, with the barrel speed right now, being able to relocate them really easily. But I think Trumpet's just gonna try and push right there. Big Zealot wave on the 5th base of Havoc. And the armies might be going to collision course right now.
The problem is Havoc's army now is way too slow. Those Broodlords and the Lurkers off creep.
Lurkers and Broodlords off creep are not that fast, nope. Not too sure it's gonna pan out right now. Zealots are gonna be running up into the natural base. Gonna slice and dice a queen. Gonna get picked up by the idolist so far, I think. Some drones maybe getting picked off. But Trumpet's using this time that these zealots are buying to actually slide his army in a better position by the third and the fourth base. This army right there might be the biggest danger for Havoc. Because he's got nothing there. He's only got 3 spine crawlers. This is not going to stop all these immortals and stalker.
I think he's got the F2 button right now.
I feel like Havoc needs to split his army a bit more right there. And he needs a bigger army too, because he's still 40 supply down to his opponent. And against the higher supply army Protoss with far better upgrades right there, because we have +3, +2. I mean, not far better. I mean, +3, +2 against +2. But these are range and melee upgrades. So there's no carry base upgrade on these units, which means they're technically 3 upgrades ahead. And a recall in a way. Oh. This army recalling. Not too sure why.
Probably thinks he's gonna get pincered.
I think he was a bit scared of getting pincered or getting surrounded by the army. I think Trumpet is over-evaluating his opponent a bit too much right there.
Might be, yeah.
Playing way safe. Going for a triple Stargate transition right there though. He's gearing up for late game Protoss. He knows it's gonna be going late. Getting the dark.
The Golden Armada is coming in.
Triple Stargate plus the Dark Templar Shrine. We know what's going on. We know what's going on.
Blink.
I mean, Blink DT and Carriers. This is what we're getting. Such a treat for us Zerg casters, right?
Still don't know why they gave.
He still doesn't have a
DT's
sleep
Blink.
beacon.
Nope, I mean, the Stargates are just finishing up. But the Broodlords are moving across. Vipers are there too. Lurkers, Hydra, Broodlords. It's quite a scary army though, I gotta say. Not too sure how it fares against Immortal Swarms, but they still are looking quite dangerous. If he gets into a good position and picks off the Protoss apart, the Lurkers are going to be really dangerous to the Lurkers, to the Stalkers and Zealots. Cancel the 5th base.
He's got a bit of army value over Trumpet, so he's got potential to do some damage.
And I think we're going to be seeing a bigger engage right there. By the potential 5th base, gonna see some really good storms right there. Trumpet blanketing the whole Idolist army right there, but losing most of his Eye Templars in the process. I think, was this all of his Eye Templars? This is all the Eye Templars, there are no more storms. Maybe that wasn't worthwhile, because the Eye Templars is just the brunt of the army for Havoc, but the Broodlords are all there, the Lurkers are still there, and there's still a healthy number of Idolists.
I feel like that was not worth it at all for Trumpet. I think he's put himself in a very bad position for the rest of this game.
I do not like this position, guys. Right now he's stuck on the defensive, and he cannot get any more storms out, because by the time he warps them in, they're not going to have the energy to do anything. And I don't know if he has anything to stop. Oh, the Blinding Clouds are really good right there by Havoc. He's going to push through this 3rd base, and probably going to take the 4th base, ideally, if he realizes it's there. Because I don't see how Trumpet's going to break out of this. Getting Tempest right now is a good call for the Broodlords and the Lurkers. But I mean, I'm not too sure. This seems like a big momentum lead for Havoc.
Yeah, if he plays it right, I think he could probably swing into a win.
With all of the Lurkers in front of his opponent's natural, the Broodlords singeing up slowly, and the Vipers to make sure there's no actual engage with the Blinding Clouds and the Abducts. I'm not too sure. The Blinding Clouds most likely, he's not using the Abducts. But I feel like there's no single power units, and that's a good decision by him. Tempests are now out. There's nothing to deal with the Tempests for Havoc, so he's going to try and push up the issue. And I'm not too sure if the Tempests are going to be able to clear everything up by the time he loses his base.
They're going to do some damage for sure, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, I'm not too sure. The first Viper finally gets killed by the Hydralisk. Brooders are keeping the army by the 5th base on the low ground. The Lurkers and the Hydralisk are pushing up to the natural. There's a lot of issues right there for Trumpet. And I just realized, in the meantime, there's been a Zealot run by on the other side of the map. Dark Templars, excuse me, not Zealots. There's 7 Dark Templars who's killed like 40 drones in 2 bases entirely. So I feel like this might be closer than we thought initially.
I think now it might be a base race then.
I feel like this is getting into a messy game. How many Tempests we have? We have 1 Tempest. Oh, and there's no more Observers for the Lurkers. Oh, this isn't good. Stalkers are trying to blink on top. The army's trying to get in a good surface area to fight this, but the ramp from the main base is really too much for them. And at the same time, Havoc's still losing more and more probes. If we look at his base, Dark Templars are clearing everything up right now. Still Dark Templars in the natural, in the 5th, in the main. Nope, still not. There's Dark Templars everywhere right now. The Final Tempest going down. I'm really not sure who's gonna win this. But I feel like Havoc has a big lead. If he doesn't lose all of his buildings, this is maybe the big thing.
All Havoc has to do is just pull back a small portion of his army. He can probably defend that.
Well, does he have any detection to go with it? He has enough. He has one overseer.
Yeah, he's got one overseer at least.
A single overseer.
That's all you need.
I feel like this is gonna be a really messy ending so far. With the 3 Dark Templars by the natural, 3 Dark Templars in the main.
It's very base racy.
Yeah. Zerg having a way bigger army, but if Trumpet finds any single way to snipe off this single overseer right there, there's gonna be no detection left. There's no Spore Crawlers, there's no overseers, and I don't even think there's a lair left. There's the Hive left, and it's going down really soon. And there's only minerals left for Havoc. Not sure if he has. Oh, there you go. He's making a base by his opponent's 3rd base. The typical ninja switch. But Trumpet needs to save this base right here, because this is all his probes, all his production, and most importantly, all his buildings. If he loses all of his buildings, he's gonna be just dead. Even if he has the Dark Templars on the other side of the map. And the Hydro is gonna run. The Hydraulics are just clearing the Archons, clearing the cannons. The Overseer going up front. Not too sure if I would be pulling the Overseer there. Maybe he's making sure there's no Dark Templars there.
Yeah.
All the Warp Gates and cannons.
Even what he has left. What he has left of the army alive with that Overseer, making sure there's no DTs.
I feel like Zerg's gonna win this. I don't think there's any way for us to survive with this. This is a Dark Templar, not a probe. This is a Zealot, not a probe. I mean, there's no probes outside, and this is gonna be GG for Trumpet, and Havoc's gonna take the first game. I would say it was a weird game in the mid game, all around, but the transition to the late game was I would say a surprising timing push for Havoc. Sliding into between his opponent's base with the Lurkers and Broodlords, doing a lot of damage with the positioning of his army. It's pretty solid overall.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so we're going to be jumping into game number 2 momentarily. Alright, and we are back for game number 2, which should be working. Give me a second. Alright, we are back for game number 2 between our players for the Voltica Star League, stage number 4. And yeah, it's gonna be between our first player in the top right, who is going to be...
Which is Havoc from Ballad G still, playing the light blue color.
Yes. And
And
left.
at the bottom left, it is former SCSwarm's Trumpet, who is a Protoss player.
Yes. Alright. So we've had quite a I would say a standard game for game 1, which we've seen, with Havoc taking the first game off from Trumpet. Showing off, I mean, he said he was a bit more comfortable with ZVP, and even though he said his opponent was a bit higher ranked than him, he still managed to clinch it, getting a big timing with the Hydralis at the beginning of the game, not doing too much damage, but transitioning it off to a more Lurker Broodlord style, and making a really good use of the positioning on the map, which was really good for him.
Game got sloppy a bit near the end, but our underdog here pulled off the win.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when it gets messy, base racy and stuff, this is the good stuff. Gets more messy, more action-packed.
It's more fun.
Yeah, exactly. So right
It looks
now,
like this game will be standard again,
Yeah.
as it's the standard 18-17 from the Zerg and the Gateway gas span from the
Gate
Protoss.
expand, yeah. Gate expand for the Protoss player, I feel like, is going to be the choice of build. So I feel like both players just either not preparing anything specific or just planning to go for something more specific later on, and nothing too extremely cheesy or anything. No 2-gate proxy, no 4 gates, no like pool before hatch or anything like this.
I think in Havoc's case, since he mentioned it was his best matchup, his standard game is probably his best thing to bring to this.
I
this
think
match.
I think you're right. He's probably more confident just playing a standard game, standard ZVP, just going into the mid game. I feel like he likes the Idolist a lot, getting for high Idolist count. I think Trumpet should probably see this from last game, because that was a abnormally high number of Idolists in the mid game. Maybe try and go for some Colossus storms earlier, maybe, because these all might help against these Idolists.
One change Trumpet does make is he makes an Adept as his first unit, as opposed to the Stalker from the first game.
Yep. Curious to see what he does, and he goes for the actually super standard build, which is more standard than the last game, which is the Adept into the Stargate, and then the Warp Gate. Those not too familiar with Protoss, you skip the Warp Gate in the beginning. You don't get it like as soon as your Cybercore finishes, so that you can afford the Stargate immediately and get the Oracle or the Phoenix faster. Now the next choice is going to be whether it is the Phoenix or an Oracle. It's going to be going out.
I'm really interested to see which one it is.
And if this Overlord sees it or not, because this Overlord right here in the by Trumpet's natural base could see all of his text choices for now. And ooh, this is actually an incredibly early Roach Warren for Havoc. This is like going blind. He doesn't even see. All he saw is that there's no second gate in the wall, which would normally be there, and going for directly into a Roach Warren off of 2 base. 2 base, and yeah, I mean, this seems like a really early timing attack probably, but as I say this, he's dripping another 7 drones, so I'm not too sure.
The Protoss player actually cancelled his Phoenix and went into an Oracle instead.
That is true. 'Cause I saw the Phoenix on the production tab, and now I see an Oracle, so I'm like, Are you trying to be cheeky? Are you trying to just confuse me now, Trumpet? Is this what you're doing? Because you are succeeding in doing this. But
The Adept in the main base scouts the Roach one, so he'll know it was early.
he knows there's something going on, and he's even trying to kill it, but as we all know, Adepts don't kill buildings. And just as I say this, we're gonna see 14 Adepts with glaives. No. And yeah, I mean, after the Oracles, it's been sitting out by the Overlord, just chilling in the vision range, nothing too special. We're gonna see a Void Ray. Probably scared of these roaches right now, because he's seen the roach timing, he's seen that this is a really early timing and that there's no third base. I mean, he didn't see the third base. Now there's one that's really late by standards. So I'm not too sure he's gonna be feeling about this. But there's nothing from Havoc right now. He's made some roaches as a defensive measure, I suppose. But I don't know what else for. Simply 6 roaches winning by. Oh. He's cancelled a second layer. funny thing is he started 2 layers at once and forgot he had one in the main.
One
Havoc
thing
is
that
going
happens.
for Overlord speed, so I'm wondering if he's going to do drops after.
One thing that Havoc's doing, which I dislike, is that he has all of his overlords huddled by his main base rather than being on the map for map vision.
True.
I feel like as Zerg scouting is extremely important.
True. While we're talking about overlords, we're gonna see the well, I mean, maybe this was a bit of a cause, but the Oracle getting 2 drone kills for some damage, even though there was a Spore Crawler. You also see that this is quite a lot of gas right now. We have 4 gases already saturated by Havoc on simply 3 bases, and still a low drone count. And going for the Hydralist Den and the +1 range attack already. I mean, I feel like maybe I was a bit too right saying he liked his Hydralists a lot. But no, this is quite a big commitment to Hydralist. I feel like that's going to be happening in the coming minutes.
I think Trumpet's mortal is stuck in the main base between a pylon and a gateway. Oh no, it's not.
Oh, no, there it goes.
As I say that,
would
pass the curse.
Gas or Jinx.
that would have been a big detriment if it was.
True. But yeah, the Void Ray just killing off some Overlords. We're gonna see Trumpet going for the Forge, going for the Zealot legs, and going for a 3rd base right now. While his opponent's going for the Lurker Den straight up. This is extremely early of a Lurker Den right now, I feel like. Of 50 drones on 3 bases. This is really low economy for the Zerg player. I don't think I've seen Zerg players play with this low drone count in a while, especially in higher diamond brackets. This is really weird.
Normally you want to get your sweet number.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a number between, like, depending on the playstyle you're gonna go for, between like 70, sometimes 70 to 80, depending. But he started at 40, then he droned up a bit to 50, now he's droned up to 60, but then he's waiting there and just making units. And he's doing quite a lot of units, going for 1 Ravager, going for some Hydralisk, trying to chase out the Oracle in his base, making sure he doesn't lose any more drones to this. While his opponent's going for quite a lot of tech right now. Gonna go
Oracle
for
is getting those tags though, which is gonna help him in that vision.
the Revelation tags on the units, just making sure that his opponent's not moving out, or at least not with these units. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see Templar Archives on the way for Trumpet. I mean, being finished for Trumpet. We're gonna see the 2nd robotics facility being finished. We're gonna see a lot of production right now. Gonna be starting. Going for an observer right now. Gonna start +1 while his opponent's going for +2. Rare sight that we see these Zerg being ahead, but then we're gonna see big drops right now. You mentioned earlier, Germi, that we're gonna probably see some drops with the fast overload speed. And
Yes.
I think this is what we're gonna be seeing right now. I'm not sure what's in there. It's just Roaches, Hydra, Roachling, and 1 Ravager.
There's a Ravager in one of them.
One
Yeah.
Ravager. I feel like 2 Roaches could have done better. maybe should have had some Lurkers there.
Oh, the Void Ray spots it.
He spots it? Oh boy.
Oh, it does.
Oh my. Oh my.
It might
This
even
is
kill one
huge
before it
for
drops.
Trumpet right
I mean,
now.
if he loses these Overlords, not too sure how this is gonna pan out. Gonna lose the one with the Ravagers in there.
He
Nope,
will
maybe
lose
not.
the Void Ray.
Oh my. What's going on with these? Not too
Drops in. He's going to push for that mineral line, see if he can get some damage. Actually, no, that's a lie. He's going to take out the pylon powering the robotics phase.
Oh my. I mean, is it powering the robotics bay? I think there's a 2nd one
It's
in
not
range
the
right now.
only-
Yeah,
There's
there's
the 2nd
2.
one.
Oh my.
He goes for
It
the
looked like
robotics bay itself now. I think
yeah.
the indecisiveness might have ruined the attack a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, there's also an attack on the 3rd base right now. There's attacks on both sides right now. Havoc's trying to pull his opponent apart right now with his multi-prong, but the force fields are really good at the 3rd base, and the attack in the main base seems to be about to be shut down. Pretty good storm right now.
This is what I wanted to see last game. I wanted to see those splits.
Oh, and the attack on the 3rd base right now, there's no more storms, and the Hydrals are gonna get in there. Gonna kill some Immortals, gonna get some good damage done in there. Getting a worker
Take out
lead.
robotics
Nope,
bay.
he's still below in worker count right now. Not too sure what's going on with this. Has there been an attack in the mid-time by Trumpet? Because I'm not sure why Havoc is below it. It's still behind in worker counts right now. I'm not too sure what's going on.
I missed it.
I mean, I'm not sure if there's been anyone. No, there's not been a unit attack. He hasn't lost any. He's lost 2 drones in the whole game. I feel like he's just not producing any drones, and he's just staying on low economy, like 60 drones, and just making for going for Hydra.
I wonder if that's part of the strategy or not. He's intentionally sacrificing some of that economy to get that army out faster.
Because I would feel like going for a bigger army a bit later might have been better. He's going for double expansion, excuse me, right now. Trying to go for maybe a bit of an economy later on. Gonna go for this hive tech right now.
And 9 lurkers to his army.
This is a lot of lurkers. He loves his lurkers and his hydras. I feel like he should be playing blue drawers sometimes. Or maybe he's used to play blue drawers, because I mean, this was where it was at. Because right now, Bruno's gonna try and Trumpet's gonna try and take his 4th base tonight entirely in a second. Storms are pretty good on the lurkers. Doesn't hit the hydralisk though, so it's not the greatest things, but he's still got quite a lot of them. And yeah, gonna try and see how this goes out. Some lurkers dying before they even burrow. The hydralisks are gonna try and engage this. Storms are just zoning the hydralisks, but not yet there. And yeah, not too sure how this is gonna pan out. He's trying to storm the lurkers one by one. Doesn't seem like a best idea. Lurkers getting a lot of kills, and the item flyers and damage done on most of the army. I'm not too sure if Havoc's just gonna win off lurker positioning again.
Oh, the storms are really good, and the immortals pounce on the lurkers.
These storms are getting really good, and the immortals are really doing a lot of work on these lurkers. I feel like this push is gonna be shoved out right now. Without, I mean, I was gonna say without too much issue, and then I just realized there's about nothing left for Kuros player. There's 2 immortals, an Archon, and a Knight Templar that's just gone down. But what does the Zerg have behind this? He's got the Zerglings in production, but he doesn't have that much of an economy, so he can't just make an army instantly, like we're normally seeing.
He is sending another wave of Hydras and Lings in, but it's I think it's not enough to deal with what I'm seeing from our Protoss player.
Protoss player that loves his farms.
He's just starting the spy tech, so maybe we'll see a Blue Lord take up like in the last game. But I don't think he has the economy behind this to support Blue Lords.
I don't feel like that either. 55 drones to support the lurker Blue Lords doesn't seem like a good idea. Trumpet's still going for a lot of High Templars. Got up to 8 High Templars right now. Quite a big number considering the situation for the armies. And he's also getting a 4th base, quite sneaky on top, with some cannons there, but still no probes mining. Probably gonna help. While we see Havoc, when he took both his attributes for the 4th and 5th, still no mining workers there. Just adding some through the 4th, but still nothing on the 5th. The economy game, not the biggest thing that he's prioritizing his gameplay for. Mostly focusing on the armies, but he doesn't have that much right now. Lings, Hydras, and 2 lurkers. And then a small run by of Lings on the 3rd base. I think Trumpet's had enough, and he's just swatting this army like if it's nothing. He knows it's like a bluff. He's just calling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still a Zerg.
During that attack, Havoc did jump up a bit here, because he's up to 71 now, so
yep,
it's closer to the number he wants, but I think he could still use a bit more. Because
he's killed some probes right now. He's killed a total of 19 drones in the whole game, with these Lings run bys on the 3rd base and the drops in the main earlier on. Right now going for some Hydralisks. There are still a Elfie Archon count and a good number of Storms. These could do some good damage, but it's gonna be up to the placement of the units. And now he sees them. Trumpet simply snipes off the first one.
I think the Archons should be able to deal with the Mutalisks pretty easily.
They should be, yeah. It's just if he gets flanked or anything. But right now it seems like the Mutalisks are just ignoring the army and trying to go for a counterattack, while he's trying to flank out really good feedbacks on the Viper, preventing any spell cast to be done while doing a lot of damage to it. And the army is just out of position for Havoc right now. He's burrowed below his 5th base, excuse me, and not able to defend his natural. And now Trumpet's just going to push through. The Mutalisks are going to be attacking the main base right now in the meantime. They're going to be doing some damage, but maybe it's not going to be fast enough. And
Havoc is decided for a counter attack. Yeah.
This is the base race match right now.
The natural goes down to Havoc.
The natural is going to be going down. The 3rd base is already down. The 5th was killed already. Lurker and Hydra Tech are dying. The army for the Zerg player is in the 3rd base and in the natural, and the mutas are still in the main. Unpowering all these gateways right now. Not sure this is going to go for both players. This is a lot of overlords just up blocking vision right now.
The Protoss player has 8 immortals right now. I think he has too much.
I think he's not going to lose his army ever. And he's also got a hidden base that the Zerg player has never seen. The top left base has never been scouted ever. And he's also defending by his natural. He's got some cannons and shield batteries. And he's gonna recall a part of his army there. Which part of it? It's the stock, it's the Immortal and the High Templars plus the Archons. Probably gonna be able to deal with this and defend his natural in his main base. The Zerg army plummeting to 30 supplies right now. This is looking grim for Zerg player right now. Gonna be calling the GG out.
And he will just tap out, yeah.
Yeah. Not too sure. I mean, this was a pretty back and forth game, but I feel like both players still going for a similar style to play. Havoc still going for the mass Hydralisk lurker play. Try to transition to Brooder, but I feel like it just cut off short before that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like both players just really confident in their playstyles and going at it again. But yeah, we're gonna be going into a game number 3 afterwards, in not too long. Alright, so there has been some little delays, but here we go with the game number 3 in the series between Trumpet and Havoc. So, we are going to be introducing our first player in the top left. Who is it gonna be?
So my game is crashing.
Cut.